wearing my Russian bot shirt because I'm in a Russian mood today. Since I did that last update about the group build, Galaxy Saint, Event Horizon, and SMKR have joined, so I am happy about that. It's time to get started on this. So beautiful. Let me point the camera downwards. This is the Su-33 Flanker D by Hasegawa. Now the Zvezda one in the same scale, the 72nd scale, the wings will actually can fold up, and that's really super neat. I know there is, what is it called, Wolfpack or something like that. They make like aftermarket parts. If you want to hack the wings off this guy here, you can get like aftermarket resin parts or whatever to make the wings fold up if you so desire. But I am not going to be doing that. And in my modeling update for February-March, I showed this. This is the only fancy thing I'm going to be doing with this kit. I'm going to be using these Russian seat harnesses by Fine Molds. This kit does not come with a pilot figure. And as I mentioned before, just as I'm doing with the Flanker D Eggplane, I am using the Model Castin Flanker color set. Now, I'm not going to do a review or out-of-box review or whatever. I've already done that before, so I'm not going to retread that over again. All I have done so far is just done a dry fit. That's it. Nothing else than that. So, as with any other kit, I'm just going to be working on the cockpit first. So, I'm going to turn the camera around and we can get started on that. The one thing I want to do is kind of try to hopefully smooth out this injection point here. Looks kind of ugly. And so I'm just kind of going to try to file it down somehow. I don't know. I think I could try to just paint some surfacer in here. I'm not really good at trying to fix stuff like this, but I'll give it a shot. So, I think I might just try some Mr. Surfacer 1000. Oh my, this needs to be stirred up. This is very, very separated. Okay, and then I am going to cut out the cockpit piece and such. There we go. And I'm just going to let this dry and see how it looks afterwards. I'll probably, I don't know, I probably want to do the surface around here anyways. Do this whole area. Anyhow, let's just get back to this later. So for now, I'm going to be painting the cockpit, and I'm going to have to do the prep work for that. So here we are. There we go. There. And there. That looks nice, I guess. It's probably going to be mostly hidden anyways, but, you know, we'll see. So, yeah, I'm not going to do any photo etch or anything like that for this. I believe that there is, I think by Edward, there's a photo etch set for this Hasegawa flanker Su-33. But I'm not going to do anything like that. I'm fine. Cool. Alright, so then I can just attach this like this and just paint it on the runner here. And I think I don't know, I might just skip the surfacing on this. I'll just, you know, put this in the way it is. And I think I could go ahead and put in the console here, paint it, and then later do the decal or decal. There we go. Okay, cool. Now, according to the instructions, the destructions goes like so, I believe. And then there's the joystick is going to go in there as well. Now this is all going to be 74, Mr. Color 74, which is Air Superiority Blue, and that is what I did the cockpit on the eggplane version. It's the same color that is in the Fine Molds TIE Interceptor that I recently completed as well. Okay, so this is just got to glue in there like so. So I'll just use my cement here. There. Oh my gosh! I just lost it on the floor. I happen to have a hard floor, and so I do not have the carpet monster. I don't have to worry about losing tiny pieces to the carpet, fortunately. And this is not wanting to stay. There we go. There. Cool. And actually, I think I might hit this with the extra thin here. There. Cool. Alright, the flight yoke is going to be separate. So I put on some Mr. Surfacer 500. It's a little bit thick, so I thinned it down a little bit with some lacquer thinner. Now, next, what I'm doing is I'm going to start it on the pilot's seat. So we got these little doohickeys here, these little injection points we need to trim off. And then There. And then the actual seat itself is right here. Now, I noticed that there's no detail for the ring. You know, the pull rings for the ejection seat. It should go like right between the pilot's legs. I do not see that, unfortunately. I don't know if I can try to do that on my own or not. The instructions say to paint this the seat. Actually, this is going to be 74, which is that air superiority blue, and then these fit on the sides. These are supposed to be flat black, but anyhow, it's going to be fitting in here like so. Here we go. I don't know. What should I do? We'll probably just paint these separately and then put them on later. There's a part D1. Let's look at D1. Oh, well, here it is. This is it. Okay, this is the ejection pull ring here. Cool. Okay. So let's carefully clip this off here. There. And this is also is going to be 74. Air superiority blue. The ring itself is going to be 3, which is red. Alright. Now, which way does this go? Alright. It looks like this goes here. Okay. So there. Put some glue here. There. Okay, cool. Alright, well there you go. That's neat. Cool. Alright, so I'm going to try to figure out a way to paint these guys and then assemble them. And then the seatbelts are going to be different color as well. I'll have to take a look at those too. So we've got this other little piece here. Almost forgot this. This goes on the back. There. Okay, this goes on the back of this seat. So apparently this little section here plugs in the back like so. And then, okay. Weird. Alright, so. Okay. It'd be nice if there was some sort of like locator pin to keep this in place, but because it's kind of loose in the back here. That's weird. Alright. Alright, this is gonna have to sit for a bit. Now, let's look at these Neato Mosquito seats. Now it has rather specific instructions for these things to wrap around. These are of course, going to have to go on last, but they're going to be painted Mr. Color 308 gray, and then silver goes on the buckles and such. So there are 4 in this package. So I'm just going to remove one and put these back in the box. So I'm going to need to clip off a whole bunch of this crap here. Got these little injection points here. Alright, so like for example, this gets clipped off. This gets clipped off. Okay. I'm just gonna carefully clip all these little guys off, and then get back to you. I just want to be very careful to remove these. I think that ends here. Yeah. You just gotta look at the pictures for reference there, and then that way you know which are the parts that need to be clipped off. Like this is gonna have to be clipped off like so. There we go. And here. Okay, I'll just gonna continue with this. I'm sanding down that place where I put down the Mr. Surfacer 500. Just got some sandpaper here. This is a 1000 grit. It's looking better. I think I might just paint around here with my Air Superiority blue without doing any surfacing. I don't know. I maybe I might put down a bit of a surfacer there. Yeah, we'll see about that. But anyhow, this is looking a bit better now. I am just gently sanding down this area here. So that's looking nice. So one more step and then we're going to be ready to paint the cockpit here. So there's this part here. This is part of the front console. And you have these nice locator tabs here. So you just put the locator pins in the holes here. That's nice. So, yeah, this can be painted now. And other cosmetic stuff can be attached as well to the airplane before we do any painting as well. So something to take care of also. We have to get the pin vise and drill some holes in these parts here. So this is where the missiles are going to be attached to. So we got a 0.8 millimeter my pin vise. There we go. So according to the kit here, and you get the weapons, the missiles and such here. They need to be attached. So you could build this without anything, and just just the bare wings if you want to, I suppose. But what fun is that, right? So there. Cool. I'll do the other wing as well. So the harnesses from the fine molds, the fine molds seat harness set, I have just stuck on the masking tape, and I've attached it onto this disposable chopsticks here. So I'm not going to be priming this. I'm just going to be just paint it, just airbrush it straight on there, because I don't want to lose any detail. I think it's this tiny little detail, very intricate detail. In the meantime, I'm just being busy, just clipping all these parts off here. There's a lot to deal with. There's a lot of stuff here that's going on with the missile rocks and such. Lots of tiny little parts to assemble. So this is just taking a long time. Now, if you are a novice builder, I just gotta let you know that you will come to learn to recognize these things here. You don't have to worry about these things. You just clip these things off. These are just like where they inject the plastic here, and so you just go ahead and just cut all these things off here. These are not actually a part of the model. They're just here for the injecting process. But as you can see, there are a lot of these all over. Yeah, see, here's some more here. This is what I've been doing for the past, I don't know, about maybe 40 minutes or so. There's just so many of these things to clip off. There. So what I'm looking at now is what I can do for sub-assemblies for the landing gear. Apparently this kind of just fits into place like this. Let me get the cement going here. And I'm just going to get plenty of stuff going on here. And this, there we go. Alright, now I might kind of shoot this a little bit more with the extra thin. Make sure this gets kind of reinforced. There. Okay. Now, this goes on top like so. Like that. I just use the regular cement on this, I guess. There we go. Great. Alright, now I have kept this on the little bit of the gate here, the sprue. Clipped it off. And that way I can just paint this. So this is going to be white. The underside is going to be that bluish gray. But the landing gears are going to be white. So, and then there's also going to be some other parts here, like I think some parts around here are going to be silver and such. So I just got to be careful with that. Pay attention to that. So for these missiles here, I've just took it off the runner, and I need to attach these little guys here as well, these little fins, and have those ready to paint. Just like, you know, clip it right here on this on the runner here, and paint them all in one move. Got a couple of these, and I need to pay attention here and kind of smooth these parts off, because you can see where part of the gate is remaining. I need to be careful with this. There. And sand this stuff down to make it look nice and smooth. We have these vertical stabilizers. And this is one sub-assembly that can be done fairly easily. And here we go. Cool. Oh my gosh. My daughter's calling. Oh, never mind. My wife answered her. Okay. I got a little bit of glue here. There. There. Cool. Okay, cool. Now something else I can take care of is the air brake, because I'm not going to be posing this thing open. So this just goes on top here, and it should hopefully fit in here. I really hope so. Okay, let's just have this. And, oh hey, it's a really tight fit. So, it kind of snaps actually. In that case, let me just use the extra thin cement here on this. There. And it just automatically, just with the capillary action, sucks straight into the cracks there. That's nice. Great. Cool. I'm just looking at other stuff that I can do before any painting begins. And these missiles can be made here. The deal is that you're getting, like, you know, one dimension, right? But you're not getting the other fins going the other way. So you just have to make sure that these are pointed the right direction. And I just knocked one on the floor. Oh my gosh. And I'm just going over this with some extra thin cement. And there. Oh my gosh. Come on. There. Okay, cool. Just gotta go through all of these like so. Now these are all the same size. Now these are smaller missiles, these are a little bit longer, but these little fins are still the same size, so that makes it easy. You don't have to worry about getting the right part numbers or whatever, because they're all the same. The next step on these missiles are the parts in the back. And then just putting these into place here. And after these parts dry, after the glue dries, I'm going to let this, you know, after it dries, I'm going to flip these over, put these on the other side. But yeah, we got a lot of missiles going on here, and I haven't really studied the instructions quite thoroughly yet about where parts go, and maybe not all of these are going to be used. I don't know. I just another one just flicked off there. Oh my gosh. There. Ah! Oh my gosh. Let me get some more crap on here. cool. Alright, there you get the idea. Here's one of the flaws of this kit. I will try to point this out as best as I can on this HD camera, but I don't know if you can really pick this out, but you have fairly clear panel lines and they kind of disappear right here. Now the same thing is not visible on this end here. Panel lines are pretty much obvious. Now I noticed this after I was filing down the gates here, the residue of the gates. But yeah, it is a bit soft on detail. And the same thing could be said about this end here. This is the mirror opposite. And you can see I've already put some tape down here. Now, what tape is this? I use, this is by HiQ Parts. This is Sujibori, which is the scriber tape, guide tape. A lot of people use Dymo tape, and that is actually also available in Japan, I recently found out. I just need to cut off some length of tape here. And then I just need to apply this where it is necessary. So here it is light on detail. I'm gonna put this down here. And unfortunately, it kind of wants to lift up. It doesn't really adhere to contours so well as I would hope so. And actually, this is crooked. There we go. So I will continue to put down this tape and get right back to you. Now, I cannot promise to show you the best way to do this. I'm just showing you how, this is my attempt at doing panel lines, scribing panel lines. Now this is a scriber by GSI Crayols. Anything's alright. This is just what I got at the hobby store. So your miles may vary. Okay, now for me, I've had it asked me, hey, was it worth it to you to get this? Well, since A, I live in Japan, and therefore B, it didn't cost very much. It was only like maybe 1,200 yen at the most or something, if I remember right. Yeah, this is right for me. Now, if you were outside of Japan, I really, I can't answer your question because I don't know how much this would cost for you. So, yeah. Do what you feel best. Now, I like to get stuff that is actually made for modeling, okay? Like, I make car models and people are like, hey, why don't you just use some, like, blah, blah, blah stuff? I'm like, I like to use stuff that's actually made for models, not for, fill-in-the-blank hardware store stuff. I like to play it safe. People, I've heard, I don't want to name names, but there is a popular YouTube modeler who decided to use some paint that was made for fishing lures on a Star Trek kit, because the fishing lures had like a bit of pearlescent, and it was a latex paint, and I'm like, oh dude, this is not going to turn out well. Latex paint on a styrene model, this is not a good idea. Well, it turns out it was not a good idea. He totally screwed up, and it was at the time it was out of print, the model, and he was really upset about that, and I really felt for him. And hey, when I saw that, I subscribed, because I'm like, dude, this guy just showed a stupid mistake, and he totally screwed up, thinking that he could work around the issue and not use stuff that's specifically made for models. And he's just gonna take a gamble, and he screwed something up really big time. But because he was upfront and honest about his mistakes, I really respected that. And for me, that was kind of an inspiration to me to just be totally honest about my mistakes. Now already, I've lost a couple of pieces on this kit, like those these harnesses, the seatbelt harnesses that I have yet to paint, and I'm like, oh crap. It turns out I actually found it. I was going to video it and say, hey, I had to use another one because I lost it. But I ended up finding it after all. Yeah, see, that wasn't very straight. It's not too bad. Maybe it's not going to be that noticeable. But, so anyhow, yeah, after I saw that guy's videos, I realized that, I want to just be as transparent as possible, and I really respected the fact that he swallowed his pride and he showed his mistakes on video. And, yeah, I definitely want to do the same thing. So, I think maybe these are not really that good of lines. Let's look at this other one and make sure that this is going to be kind of straight. Yeah. It looks okay to me. Now, I'm trying not to gouge deeply because these are pretty shallow panel lines. Sorry, I've had a bunch of whiskey tonight. I can't talk right. And in fact, I don't think I'm doing a good job at describing these lines. But yeah, you just use these guide lines here, this guide tape to do the lines. There. And this is gonna look alright, I suppose. So yeah, people will complain about Hasegawa kits, about how shallow the panel lines are, and that is a legitimate gripe. And I suppose people might accuse me of being a Hasegawa fanboy, but whatever. Believe it or not, it's cheaper for me to buy a Hasegawa kit than it would be to buy an Airfix kit, for example, because of they have to import Airfix kits into Japan, and therefore it's going to be a little more expensive. If you live in North America, or especially Europe, Airfix kits are going to be a lot cheaper than Hasegawa kits. And people would say, I don't want to buy Hasegawa kits, they're too expensive. Well, that's just because where you live. And you might say, oh my gosh, you're so lucky you get to live in Japan. Well, there's good benefits to that, and there's downsides, of course, as well. I'm not going to get into that, but it goes back to whether or not you should get stuff like this. And I get a lot of people asking me, hey, where do I get this paint? You use these really great paints or whatever, and I can't find it. Well, you're just out of luck. I can't tell you. You will have to find a place where you can find it online, and you're going to have to balance whether it's worth it or not to buy. Now, if you're going to be getting something like this, high-Q parts, I would not recommend getting this if you live outside of Japan, because you're probably going to get a lot better deal if you just get some Dymo tape instead. So, anyhow, that is my rant about this kind of stuff. Get a lot of people, and I don't mind people asking me questions, but I'm just telling you right now that, your miles may vary. And just because I use stuff doesn't mean that, I'm endorsing you buying this stuff and paying the high fees because you don't happen to live in Japan. I do. That's why I use this stuff. So, yeah, end of rant. So, I think, where was that other line? Here, this line also needs to be kind of scribed as well. There. Okay. It's okay, I guess. It's kind of hard because this stuff isn't really made to be very sticky, so it kind of moves around a little bit, you know. So I guess I shouldn't really kill myself trying to do all these panel lines, but I just was thinking, hey, this one turned out pretty good, but it's because I didn't do those panel lines. I did these panel lines instead. Stupid. Not too bad. Anyhow, so there you go. I do believe probably by now I've probably gone over a half hour or so of this footage. So I think I'll end this video now. You're gonna see a lot more stuff, hopefully, in the next video. Painting and doing the cockpit and stuff like that. So tomorrow's Sunday. I'm probably gonna get started on this stuff tomorrow. Anyhow, thanks for watching so far, and hopefully I'll have another one of these videos up soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.